I am here now doing a little pre-interview with Vinny for the Life in the Depths show number 77. And Vinny, are you a Portland native?
No, well, I've been here for about 14 years now. I'm originally from Florida, and then I also lived a couple different places before moving up here in 2010. Yeah.
Okay, that makes you've been here for almost 13 years longer than me. So to me, you are a native now.
All right, fair enough.
Anyway, is this your first time playing the show?
No, this will be, I believe, my fourth time.
Fourth time
playing.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're a senior, huh? You have you matured into this place.
I'd like to think so. Yes.
And how's tonight's set going to be different? What are you going to present us?
Well, it's going to be, I like to do a push-pull dynamic with my set. So kind of draw you in with something kind of pretty sounding, and then a little hypnotic, and then kind of go into the harder, more industrial stuff, and then kind of go all over the place. So it's going to be a lot of I don't know, electro, techno, some D&B, and maybe a little sprinkle of UK garage. Yeah,
that's quite a concoction.
Yes.
So, how would you describe your music to someone who's never heard it before?
Yeah, just a lot of push-pull dynamic. I feel like that's kind of how life operates, in a very push-pull dynamic. So I kind of try to capture that within music. So I do a little bit of ambient stuff, and then I also focus on harder techno, just to kind of deliver that duality. Yeah.
Okay, now that strikes a chord in me. Push, pull, polarities, yin, yang, call and response. Those are all very central aspects to the creation of art, probably even life itself. Like breathing, right? Inhale, exhale, day and night, winter, summer. And I think, if I recall correctly, there has even been a movement in hip-hop where push and pull is an essential part of the beat creation, where you have this forward movement, almost like waves rolling in and then rolling back out to sea. This is a beautiful swinging motion, which not many people associate with, the more aggressive industrial music. How do you translate that into music? How do you make that actually happen? Because it sounds nice as a concept, but in execution, it sounds a little bit, intriguing, but hazy?
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, usually starts with some luscious synths or vocal samples, and just kind of
a bed or
just kind of to draw you in, and then kind of moth to the flame, get your interest, and then slowly drop some beats, and then slowly kind of ease the way into it, and then build the intensity, and then drop it again, and then build it, and then drop it, and then kind of ride it out like a wave. Yeah.
Oh, I like that. So there is movement, there's obviously movement in electronic music, but there is movement within the structure of the music itself.
Yeah.
Is that something you discovered for yourself along the way, or is it something that you knew you were want to do in music?
As far as that kind of dynamic?
Yeah. It's very specific, in your case.
Well, my first musical alias was Conduit, and that's when I was I didn't play live at all. I was playing primarily on Ableton, and that was even more widespread. Now under Enzo, I feel like I focus more on techno, breaks, electro, and ambient, whereas Conduit was everything. I did a little bit of hip hop and trip hop as well, and then ambient, house, techno, and all kinds of stuff. So I always kind of wanted to branch out, but I feel with this current project, I wanted to rein it in a little bit more, but you could still do a lot with just within the genres of techno, electro, and breaks and ambient. But yeah, I love to explore just different emotions. And that, I guess that's always been kind of the case.
Yeah, I like that, because emotion is also a way where these polarities is yin and yang shows, right? Joy and sadness, and kind of the respite of the night, and then the celebration of the day. And so I like that a
100%.
lot. I love it when such concepts make it into electronic music. Do you have like a specific instrument that you're very fond of that you use to translate that kind of structure?
I think you complimented it once.
Yeah, the Octatrack MK1.
Yes.
Okay, we're not gonna nerd out too much because we easily could.
Yes.
So because it boils down to this whole thing of like minimalism and maximalism, because there's a lot of electronic music producers that have these giant studios and they surround themselves with gears and with options, and there is the analysis paralysis, and the overwhelm of options, and there are those who like hone in on one piece, one instrument that is best at bringing out that one thing that really matters to them. Would you consider yourself as representative of the latter?
Yeah. Well, especially with the Octatrack, because that's my baby. Like ever since I really tapped into it, it's become way more than just a sampler to me. Like I do a lot of like drums and percussion on it. I use it as a drum machine and a sampler, and just like it's such a dynamic instrument, and like you can really go far with it. And I know my samples pretty well, and then I'm also like digging all the time for like new weird shit. So I feel like with that machine alone, there's a lot of power in that little machine, and you don't have to go and get like a whole bunch of gear. Like you can have that as your brains and then everything else.
That's the beauty of being deeply embedded in sampling technology. I think it's even called DPS1, right?
Yeah.
Digital, what is dynamic performance sampler. So you really get your full mileage out of that.
Yes.
This is awesome. And you perform as Enzo Caselnova?
Yes, Enzo Caselnova. Yes.
Why that name?
Why? Because when I was trying to find a new alias, I was moving on from Conduit, and I was like racking my brain super hard on like, and then like I think I still have like a notebook of a lot of these names somewhere, and they're pretty corny. They're pretty bad. And I was just like, what the hell am I gonna like call this project? And then I was just like, well, yeah, I mean,
Enzo Caselnova makes sense.
My name is Vinny, so like, and I do have Italian heritage as well, like on my dad's side. So I just super Italianed it out, and like Vincenzo, Enzo Caselnova, like, yeah.
Easy enough.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be complicated.
And it's still me. It's still
you.
Yeah.
And if Instagram, is still free, the handle is available, then go for it. That's how it works nowadays.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, very excited to hear your new concoction, your new creation tonight. You go on a little later. Like, what are you? The third one tonight? First. Yeah. You're gonna open the dance floor. Wow. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Great. Well, we're gonna close this series of interviews, however, with you. And thank you so much for taking the time.
Awesome.
And speak next time.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Vinny.
Take it easy.